I can steal your logins to your Facebook, to your Gmail, to your regular mail. I can steal your credit card information, your bank account information. I can totally destroy your life in under the time that it takes to, to drink that latte at Starbucks. Blue light should be recording. It's blinking. So then we go and say, hey guys, why don't we rob a bank today?
I think that's a great idea.
Okay then. Let's do this.
This is a developing story as we speak, and what we've learned is that sitcom, as you say, Twitter, YouTube, have been hacked.
The Pentagon itself was breached by a cyber attack.
There have been 3 cyber attacks.
It's happening more and more.
North Koreans potentially launched some sort of cyber attack.
The threats have become greater.
Social media accounts belonging to the military hacked by ISIS.
Cyber crimes have become more sophisticated.
Stuxnet, that's the worm that hit the Iranian nuclear facilities.
Safeguards, more complicated.
Things like factories, chemical plants, and pipelines are all potential targets.
Governments, corporations, and the military possess vulnerabilities that hackers now target with impunity.
This is cyber war.
And no one is immune.
This cyber domain is a man-made domain. And the geography we've created is all about speed, convenience, and scale. Security is an afterthought.
Once a year, one hotel in Las Vegas disables its ATMs and employee wireless devices to host the largest hacking conference of its kind, DEF CON.
Man, what's up, brother?
How you doing, man?
Well, DEF CON is where all the new gear comes out. It's where all the new gadgets come out, the new hacking tools come out. I got a list of people that we need to go see to get some of the gear. Okay. I've got a whole shopping list. What's up, dude, man? How you doing? How's it going? Pretty good. It's like I'm going to meet with you a little later for that other special surprise, but do you have something for me right now?
Yeah, just saying.
Awesome.
I've had people ask me, like, so where are you going? I'm going to this hacker convention, and they were just like, oh, you're allowed to have conventions? Like, yeah, why wouldn't we be allowed to have conventions?
The perception of a hacker has gone into the negative, where it's synonymous with criminal. 200 years ago, you called us creators, and you called us artists, and you called us inventors.
Einstein was a hacker. Leonardo da Vinci was a hacker. Like, people who keep on trying new things.
They're all hackers. Bill Gates is a hacker. Steve Jobs was a hacker.
It's not just computers. Some guys that build cars who are car hackers.
You come up with a different way to cook something. You're hacking the process of what it used to be.
In the cyber world of hacking, 2 parties exist. White hat hackers and black hat hackers. Good and bad. Jason is a good white hat hacker.
I equate hacking with security always. It's synonymous to me with security.
Jason is, one of the best people in the world at doing what he does, which is basically breaking in physically into places.
Help me warmly welcome Jason Street.
I started out in physical security and law enforcement. And that is a totally different ballpark. Whenever I patrolled a building, I would look at it and go, there should be a camera right there. Or this door's not secure. Or we should actually have someone manned over here doing a patrol here. Every place that I tried to secure, I first assessed how I would steal from it. I got into the computer part of it, and it was amazing. I can do security and protect people, but I get to do it on computers, and no one shoots at me. Yes, I'm into this. Neither way, sir. The hacker strip comic book.
Yeah, but that's not the one we're in, was it?
Yeah, it is.
Really?
For the past 5 years, Jason and Khalil have been hired by companies around the world to hack them legally in order to uncover cyber vulnerabilities.
I don't look like that, do I?
Dude, I don't look like that.
With over 20,000 hackers in one place, DEF CON's the perfect venue for them to prepare for an upcoming bank hack in Beirut, Lebanon.
I mean, what's up? I thought you could break into anywhere. You couldn't even get in our hotel door.
Screw you, man. Screw you. The beauty of this community is that I don't know all this in this one field, but I've got a friend who does.
So what do you need? What do you want?
So we're doing a bank job, and we're going all the way. So we're gonna do the full penetration testing, everything, and full social engineering.
Well, good news is I have an unpublished version of the social engineering toolkit where I just rewrote all the PowerShell injection techniques. I had a new one I did recently with it. So security guards, have their phones next to them.
Right.
So I spoofed a text message to the security guard, letting him know that there was an issue outside. He went outside, and then I broke into the building that way. So it works really well. So it's great.
Down. That is sweet and scary. What's up, dude?
Dudes! Of all the hackers here, few know tech better than Darren Kitchen.
We know you have some new stuff that's coming out.
He's patented one of the most potent devices now in use, and brought several that aren't even on the market yet.
So if you need to do any wireless on this engagement, this guy, Pineapple. So it's on right now. My phone's connected to it. Check this out.
So someone's already
Turn off your Wi-Fi.
Everybody turn off everything now.
I wouldn't do anything to you guys. But yeah, check this out. So we've got basically everyone in the vicinity.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
So basically, man, this is a malicious access point.
Think about it from this factor. People go to Starbucks all the time. They go to hotels.
Right.
When they join those networks, your computer records those settings. So next time you power your computer on, it's like, hey, is Starbucks here? Hey, is this hotel here? And that intercepts that and says, yep, I'm Starbucks. Connect to me.
So if I was a bad guy, I could actually manipulate the websites they go to.
Now you're the man in the middle.
So I can create a fake web page that looks like Facebook, or it'll look like the homepage for Google or Gmail. It'll look like the homepage for several banks, and make you put in your user ID and password there, and you think you're going to the legitimate site.
Yeah.
But they don't even realize it.
So we're definitely going to use that.
Yeah.
So you guys going to get physical access to any of these machines? Even if you only have a few seconds, I brought you some ducky payloads.
Nice.
Get this. This is one of my favorites right here. It smells like a thumb drive. Looks like a thumb drive. It's not a thumb drive. No. Instead of like a drive letter popping up, it's actually saying, hey, I'm a keyboardie. Just type that. It's typing in a backdoor right now. And once we're in a system command prompt, get this, we're just creating a file here, and then it becomes an executable, and then it just runs it. So
One USB drive and one computer, and that can bring down a whole company.
The most infamous cyber attack on record was Stuxnet. One USB payload allegedly destroyed hundreds of Iranian centrifuges, crippling their nuclear weapons program. USB devices can become weapons, hitting networks that aren't online, carrying malware, viruses, and backdoor access. A powerful tool for a cyber attacker.
Our challenge with cybercrime and cyber terrorism is one of detection. Most of the time these attacks occur, we have no idea that they are occurring, and when we figure it out, it's often late. On average, companies detect data breaches and cyber attacks 6% of the time. And the average time to detection in a large corporation in the United States is nearly 7 months. Your chances of being caught, arrested, and prosecuted for cybercrime, I estimate to be roughly 1 in a million.
By 2019, cybercrime is expected to cost the global economy $2 trillion. And that's a lot of money when you consider most hackers are just teenagers.
Me personally, like when I was a 17-year-old kid, I was like coming home after school and I'd sit on my computer on my modem and I'd, hack in the FAA or hack in NASA or something like that.
When you're younger and you realize that you can own most things on the internet and that you can breach pretty much anything you put your mind to, like it's a nuts concept walking in, say, a Walmart and thinking, I could probably hack this.
Kids like us, we go out every day, we have fun, and then we come home and rule the world. There is that old Spider-Man quote, like, with great power comes great responsibility.
A kid sitting alone on a laptop owning $1 billion corporation, of course that would go to people's heads.
And that can be a slippery slope. It can drive you to greatness. It can drive you to help and be part of that community and make it better. Or it can drive you to a darker place where you're actually trying to help burn it down.
And the most notorious black hat hacker who tried to burn it down was Junaid Hussain.
Junaid Hussain, an 18-year-old hacker from Birmingham, convicted of computer offenses in 2012, then more prankster than terror suspect.
Do you know about Team Poison?
Oh, yeah. This was his handiwork with hacker collective Team Poison, crashing Britain's anti-terror phone lines and also publishing Tony Blair's private address book on the web. Authorities believe Hussain became a more serious threat when he went to join ISIS in Syria.
The Tony Blair's address book, like that the breach itself, I wouldn't say was technically sophisticated so much. The problem is when you throw the book at somebody for like doing something that's really like, I mean, in all honesty, I mean, is it that evil? Is it that, I mean, we're not assassinating people, we're not like really, I mean, again, it's more just like showing this illusory power structure, the faults in it, and that it really isn't as, impenetrable as one might think.
After he got arrested, he got thrown away, man. Like, no one wanted to give that kid the time of day. And in a situation where you're young, you're intelligent, and you literally feel like you've been discarded and you've already got an anti-establishment streak, it's not a far stretch of the imagination that you're going to do some pretty crazy things.
He was using social media to recruit people.
Sad what happened to him because he chose that life. But it started out with misunderstanding. It started out with someone that just went wrong.
Is it beyond the realm of capability for a group like ISIS, do you think, or terrorists out there, to pull off a Stuxnet-like attack?
Stuxnet attack, that was incredibly sophisticated. I don't think they pull that off, but they don't have to pull that off to terrorize, to have a weapon of mass disruption. All right? Now, what surprises me, bordering on shock, is they haven't done that yet. I mean, these aren't cyber stupid people. They use the web for just about everything else. They use it to proselytize. They use it to recruit. They use it to communicate. They use it to train. They use it to raise money. What are you more concerned about, the more likely threat or the more dangerous threat? All right. By far, the more likely threat is that ISIS propaganda goes throughout the world and isolated people attach themselves to that propaganda, find something they believe is greater than self, identify with it, embrace it, and then go out to do something that satisfies not just ISIS's needs, but in some dark way their own personal needs. Overwhelmingly, I think that's the most likely kind of danger.
5,000 miles from Las Vegas, cyber investigator Nafiz Hamid is in Birmingham, England, a known hotbed for Islamic radicalization, and the hometown of Junaid Hussain.
Keeps growing with up to 30,000 foreign fighters recruited from around the world in its ranks according to the latest figures.
How's it going?
Hi, Nafiz. How you doing?
Everything's all lined up?
Thanks.
It was revealed more than a dozen young men were recruited and departed to Iraq and Syria to join ISIL.
2 teenage girls from Austria went missing. They're now believed to have joined ISIL fighters in Syria. Last year, another 2 took their belongings and left home in Vienna.
Nafiz is an expert in mapping the social networks connecting cyber terrorists.
The important thing that when I'm out interviewing people who have sympathies to the Islamic State,
He's been trying to understand what makes young people vulnerable to online recruiters like Junaid.
They're still very active on Twitter, but they're much less responsive. At one point they had...
But in tracking down Junaid's story, he stumbled onto 2 undercover journalists who once fooled Junaid into believing they were aspiring jihadis. Now they're doing the same thing to another ISIS recruiter.
Thank you for having me over.
Pleasure. Coffee?
Sure, yeah, let's go.
We've been in contact with a jihadi over there. He's going to be wannabe jihadis, radicalizing people over the net.
How did you first make contact?
Well, first was Twitter.
Yeah.
First, we were out there on the jihadi Twitter sphere. What do you want to do? And we said, we want to do the will of Allah. Yeah. We're ready.
Right.
And then, bang. It didn't take long. He said, I have got the tools and the direction to make you a jihadi and a martyr.
Right.
He's been grooming us over the net, and he's actually sent us the bomb manual.
Okay.
And what's happening is my son, who works with me, he's out there now gathering the materials to supposedly create the bomb.
I used to always read spy books from a young age. But I never saw myself doing this. It was only when I was 19. My dad said, "You want to come along and see what it's like?" So I went from there, and it just clicked from there. Do you know, when you get the adrenaline rush in it. The guy I'm talking to now, the ISIS recruiter, I think this is going to be the last one I do, because it's getting too hard now. I specialize in hunting these recruiters down. I've set up multiple Telegram accounts, Twitter accounts, and SureSpot accounts. Once I think I've found somebody, who is a genuine recruiter, I report that back to my dad, and then we set out a layer of questions on how to approach this guy to get the information we need.
A lot of the stuff we're doing is clearly breaking the law, breaking the terrorism laws here. But to be able to carry on what we're doing, we have to establish a protocol with the police, let's say. And the protocol is that we have a line of communication to them, which starts off with the journalist, then to lawyers, and then it goes to the authorities.
What we have here are the three main explosive parts of creating a vehicle IED.
They want you guys to blow yourselves up in some way?
He's under the impression that I've got an AK-47. He's also asked me to make a suicide vest. He's under the impression that what I'm going to do first is set off the vehicle IED.
Right.
From there, he expects me to go on the streets. I'm meant to have 15 bullets in my AK. Once that's completely run out,
Right.
switch the suicide vest off. Once you switch it on, you're straight off to Jannah.
Jeez. I also talk to jihadists online, but I don't pose as somebody else. I'm myself. That's how I get access, is by being very, very honest and even sharing articles of mine. Say, look, if you think what I'm doing is good and objective, then you talk to me, and they do. What these guys do is something totally different, and I'm just curious to be a fly on the wall and observe what they're doing. Okay, so you're going to take a picture.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to send it back to him to sort of prove to him, now you're ready to roll.
I'm just going to do hello first. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. That's basically Assalamu alaikum, may the peace and blessings of Allah be with you.
Now, this is being done over Telegram on a secret chat.
Yep.
Which basically means it's going to be end-to-end encrypted, and the messages will self-destruct too after you send them out for a while.
What he does anyway, he deletes the chat within an hour or so. Here, I have the photo. I'm going to send that off. All right.
This isn't the first bomb the undercover team has been asked to build. A month before his death, Junaid Hussain sent them a similar manual with instructions to build a pressure cooker bomb, just like the ones at the Boston Marathon. After coaxing Junaid into believing they were willing jihadis, he gave them a target in London. Britain's Armed Forces Day parade.
We certainly believe that we weren't the only ones that he was grooming. We believe that he would have had others that he was preparing. Okay, he's back on.
So he's responding.
Yep.
He asked what's in the cylinders. Propane.
We talk about targets after you complete the material. Boom. There we go.
You have all the material, right? So what is he...
Well, let's ask him. What is left, Aki?
He's deleting, he's deleting them fast, the messages.
Yes, but now you will arrange it.
Basically means make the bomb.
Yeah. This is the instructions for the vehicle bomb that he believes we are going to be creating.
Cyber terrorists don't just use the web to recruit and plan attacks. They use it to fund them as well.
If you look at organizations like Al-Qaeda and others, they've definitely taken advantage of technological crime as a means of funding their operations. The 7/7 attacks in London or the 3/11 attacks that occurred in Madrid, the terrorists that carried out the attacks had used either cybercrime or telecommunications fraud to fund their attack. We had our first billion-dollar bank heist earlier this year, something that few people know about and was not widely reported, but it was something called the Carbonac attack, where they stole $1 billion, billion with a B.
As a Middle East banking center, Beirut is extremely vulnerable to cyber attacks, which is why a prominent bank has brought in white hat hackers Khalil, Darren, and Jason to test their security.
What's up? Dude! Hey! Oh, man. Dude! Oh, I'm so glad you made it. What's up, man?
Excited here.
Man. I'm here. Alright. So, you know, security once again loved, as we're walking out, just you see the guards just looking like, who the f is this people? What are they doing here? Right? And I'm like, if you only knew. If you only knew.
When I was landing in Beirut, it was a mixed emotion of like excitement and exhaustion and being kind of terrified going through customs, not knowing whether or not I'll be accepted in or if they're going to object with my tools. They wanted to see everything, and I kept them just saying, it's a Wi-Fi. Like, just go totally stupid. Okay, and that one?
Beirut's a beautiful city. I've been many times. But one fact that we have to, just be honest about, I don't blend well. I am definitely not Middle Eastern or European. This is not a French accent.
Let's get going.
But at the same time, the people are very inviting and they're very hospitable. So it's their nature to actually go in and try to be helpful when you come in, if you can create a reasonable expectation of why you're there. But if they don't think that you belong there and you don't establish that credibility, you are going to have a bad day.
All right.
What are we looking at?
So we did some recon, just like a few pictures from inside and outside. So this is the main branch, so that's definitely #1 priority for us.
We're targeting a financial institution, so we're going to be doing a lot of recon on the location.
So here you have the outside, got a couple of ATMs right before walking in.
Very nice. We're going to try multiple targets. We're going to go through multiple branches.
What I want to know is, are any of these branches nearby like cafes and other centers where you have that kind of like foot traffic?
We're going to be going after to see if they got possible Wi-Fi that we could actually compromise.
Some of them have cafes, some of them are more populated areas, and some of them don't.
Because what I want to do is do a little recon and start populating the SSID pool for the Pineapple, so I get like some recon there, because those are the employees that are going to be on their break connecting to those open networks. And if we can get them to connect to us, then, game over.
We're going to be impersonating an employee. We could be impersonating a technician. It all depends on the ground. It's like everything changes once you get on the ground.
So what I'm considering is maybe coming in with a bag, because I'm going to be like in a suit kind of thing, set up in that office and not even ask anybody. Just walk in, sit down, and just start working and see if anybody notices.
Yeah, that would be good.
Dude, I got it. I just had a brilliant idea. So I brought cash, but it's the wrong currency, right? I still haven't changed this over to Lebanese, right? So I actually have a real legit reason to go to one of these banks. So then I can go in with one.
We're going to be trying all these different methods to see if we can get them to let us in behind the teller line. Let us go and touch their computers.
Behind the teller line, that's their safe place, So even if I get detected in there, I'm still golden because I could have had a gun inside my bag and I would have had control of the whole situation on the interior. So the key thing is to get a rubber ducky planted on an inside teller machine.
Well, we'll look at that during recon. Darren, how about we drop you like a couple of blocks so it's not too obvious, right? So that's the main branch. These are the main doors. So I'm just going to stop a bit. Maybe try and do that money exchange. Walk around the tower lines, maybe ask to go around to the bathroom or something, just like get as much footage as you can get.
Sound good? Yeah, that sounds good. All right, well, I've got the button camera on.
And most importantly, I've got my Pineapple running, and I'm ready to do the recon scan as soon as I get in there.
All right, let's do this. Cheers. See you in a bit.
Yep.
All right, make it a good one.
Thank you. good. The button camera on. And most importantly, I've got my pineapple running, and I'm ready to do the recon scan as soon as I get in there.
All right, let's do this.
Cheers.
See you in a bit.
Yep.
All right, make it a good one.
Thank you.
Darren's recon, that's important because it's the Wi-Fi surveillance. It's also showing me where I need to walk in. I don't want to go into a building that I know I'm supposed to actually get into, and I don't know what the layout is. I need him to show me some places so I can see that's where I need to go first.
It went great.
All right, Darren, what do we got?
So here's what we got on the button cam. There's a lot of people there.
So we got tellers.
There's some tellers over on this side on the right when you first walk in. But then you walk in on the left, you've got A, B, C, D, E. Right. So I was like, what is going on? Where am I supposed to go? So you got to go to this machine over here and get a number, and then it's like you're at the DMV. It's terrible. Okay. I'm setting up the attack on my phone right here. So what the Wi-Fi Pineapple is doing is it's taking advantage of convenience that's being put into computers to make them user-friendly. It's the same reason why when you turn on your phone or your tablet or your laptop, it automatically connects to those networks that you've connected to in the past. That convenience is put there to make it user-friendly, and that convenience is what we can violate by mimicking all of those other networks. And when I kick them off their corporate network, I can get them to connect to us. Then I can see all of their internet traffic, and I can manipulate it. Do you guys have a bathroom here I can use? Do you have a bathroom I can use here?
Yep. That always works.
So I was expecting that she was just going to, like, point me to a bathroom.
Me to where the bathroom
No,
is.
she
Right.
actually leaves the teller area right there. So there's a door that goes in between, and it doesn't look like it needed a key card because I was just seeing them go in and out real quick.
So leaving the teller area, was that just like an open and walking in and out?
Yeah, you'll see.
I was saying for Jason, like, you know.
Yeah, it was just a door that's in
okay.
and out to get to the teller area.
That's lax security. That's an indicator that they're leaving the things open or available for someone to go into. So that's awesome. Great job. You're like the things I do for this job. So look, where are the two rubber duckies from Vegas?
There's a couple of rubber duckies here if you want to use them.
Well, no, you had two that were already set up, so it's like...
Yeah, those are set up too. I don't remember what payloads they're running though.
Okay, I will definitely test those. I have no problem putting it into my computer.
Right? Just,
what is the worst that could happen?
Just unplug it if it starts doing anything really nefarious.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just Hello World.
See, I like that. I want to use this payload because this is just...
Really? Okay, here, unplug it. Close that window?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Basically, the rubber ducky is the keyboard. I can't type, 35,000 words a second. This can. So when it plugs in, it goes and says, I'm a keyboard and I'm typing. It can literally open up Notepad and instead of saying hello world, write the program, the Trojan or the malware. Write it, save it, execute it, and then go. All done inhumanly fast because it's already pre-recorded on the chip.
You invent that thing?
Yeah, so we started this project about 8 years ago, and we've since been refining the product. For me, the biggest excitement is building tools like this. Getting to see them used in the field, that's just like cream on the cake.
And so you're a white hat hacker. What are you doing making like a hacking device that acts as a... I want to put you on the spot, but explain how that's not black hat hacking.
No, it's not at all. I mean, all of these tools can be used for good or bad. It's just like, guns, and police have guns. In fact, the, law enforcement and intelligence agencies are some of our biggest customers. So, I mean, it really comes down to how you want to employ the device.
What I do are security awareness engagements. I don't actually physically take any of their stuff. I'm showing them the potential without actually having them worry about their data leaving their network. Bringing a lot of these devices in and showing the hello world, that's not an actual malicious payload. It could have been.
My hope for tomorrow, I would say like my golden ticket would be that Jason fails And that's not for me. Like, I think Jason always hopes that he fails. It means that that's it. You know, they're on point, right? That's right.
I like it when I get caught.
Right.
Like, I try to get caught.
It's always good to be able to have that feeling that you know that the next morning you're going to have lots of fun doing something that you love, something that you have a passion about, and the end result is not just the fun that you're going to have, but people are better protected because of it.
Good evening. Police from Maryland are being praised for their remarkable bravery after putting their own lives at risk to save a man who rammed his burning car into their station.
Everything pointed to a full-blown terrorist attack. A car rigged to explode Maryland police station.
Today, breaking news in Australia, it's a very similar sort of bomb that we have been told to construct.
Though they later learned the attack wasn't terror-related, the fact it failed has given the undercover team an opening.
What we should do is question him about the fact that his canisters didn't go off.
Let's just work out what we're going to say to him. I think what we're going to do is a bit of a wobble. You know, you're nervous.
I'll watch the news, Zaki. Should we send down and see what he says?
Okay.
So you guys said you're gonna try to do something called a wobble?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah. It means that, you know, we are losing a little bit of our resolve into carrying out this operation that he wants us to do.
Okay.
And the reason for that is to delay the end game as far as he's concerned, which is the giving of a target.
He's open.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you, Aki? Nervous, Aki. Keep asking Allah for help. See, I have made my du'as, Aki. I've done my prayers today.
Okay. You see that thing in Australia didn't go off today.
It didn't work.
Yeah, didn't work. So, the wobble is designed to get a little bit. It would be our last chance to get more information about him if we can, you know.
So, Aki, what is in your mind now? Anything can work. Truck, axe, anything, if Allah helps. So don't worry, inshallah.
Yeah, so I know what the truck is, that's sneeze. What's he talking about when he says axe?
Axe was Germany on the train.
Like that Afghan kid, 70-year-old one.
Yeah.
Okay, look.
So it looks like he's not bothered if the bomb goes off or not. He's just said it will work. Anything will work.
Yeah.
So what happened with the Australia thing didn't faze him? In how many days you can get ready now?
Okay, that's a good opening for us. I want to say good. I
need to see my family like one last time.
Yeah, just say I need to say goodbye.
I need to say goodbye to family.
Yeah. This is hard part for me. Okay. So I think we've got to get to the end stage, we've got to say we're ready. And let's see what he comes up with.
We could say, Akib, my mind is set now, so I am ready.
Yeah, my mind is set.
We say, listen, Akib, my mind, listen.
You tell me what you want. Yeah, put it back on him.
So what is it, what's the end game for you guys?
Well, the end game is what target he comes up with. That is the end game. And he's not responding, is he?
No, not yet.
So what does knowing the target tell you? What's interesting about that?
When we get information of the target, that could reveal a lot about this man. It could be that it's something which is peculiar to the United Kingdom, to Britain. For example, one of the festivals in the summer season, which only a Brit would be familiar with. But we're going to have to call this in as soon as we get the target. That's our job done, effectively.
Okay.
Yeah. And then what happens from there, we have no control of. But you see how
He's typing.
You see how touchy he is? You know, he's trying
Okay,
to...
Aki, listen.
Yeah.
You have to be completely normal.
Yeah.
And don't let family feel that something special is going on.
Yeah. Okay, Aki, understand. Sign off with a little bit of a pissed offness by saying, Aki, you seem to be busy. I will message you when I'm ready, yeah? Aki, let's leave it at that, yeah? And let him see that.
Right, we've signed off, and that's it for today.
Yeah, okay. Let's see what target he comes up with.
While the undercover team awaits a target, Nafeez has decided to head to a facility in the American Midwest.
What's going on?
Hey.
Jim,
Hi.
how's it going, bud?
Nafeez, nice to meet you.
I'm Nate.
Nate.
It's run by ex-Green Berets and Navy SEALs, experts who have done battle with ISIS and can assess the validity of the recruiter's bomb manual.
So when I was in the UK, I was spending some time with these two undercover journalists who were in contact with a guy who's either a supporter or an actual member of ISIS who sent this manual over. And specifically, he encouraged them to make this bomb. If you knew nothing and you just had this manual, would you be able to make this bomb work?
Here's the thing with this device. There's a lot of room for something to go wrong, but there's also a lot of room for something to go right. This is kind of using the old formula, P for plenty. Instead of using a science, they kind of just used as many things that could set something off as possible, thrown into the trunk at once.
You know, there's a lot of different variables, but we can mock up a similar device, and we'll show you what kind of thermal event it will create. All right.
We'll follow this to the T, so you will see the results that are going to come out of this if someone continues down this path.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
Everything is
ready. I'm ready now. We're looking to see if he's going to give us a target. He's typing. He's assuming that we're ready with the bomb. This man is out there, God knows how many others that he is going through the same process with. It could be that that target is being given to others.
10, 9, 8.
He's typing.
7, 6.
You see, this is now taking a really serious turn.
Big Ben Tower and London Bridge. What do you say about that?
1.
Wow. Just blew off the entire back of it. Even if no one was injured, the optics of that alone would be such a huge success for a terrorist organization. Because that image is being spread all over the world, on the cover of magazines, being shared on the internet, being played on the news, that would be the act of terrorism. Not even the explosion itself, but all the coverage that it would get all over the world.
The undercover operatives in Birmingham turned over their entire conversation with the ISIS recruiter, along with the target and date they were given. The fate and even home country of the recruiter remain unclear.
Today I'm going after a couple of branches. I'm supposed to be targeting ease of access to get in, susceptibility to an attack, and the ability to actually escape once detected.
Only a few high-level bank officials know of this operation, and a covert representative of the bank will be standing by should anything go wrong. Beyond that, no branch manager or teller knows what's coming.
Let's do this.
While Jason heads into the first branch, Darren and Khalil prepare to compromise the wireless network at the bank.
Okay. He's doing a deauthorization attack, which means that he's telling people that are connected to that network right now to get lost and disconnect from that network. It's a very normal part of networking if you're rebooting or something like that. And so what's going to happen is once he tells all of those people to disconnect from the network, they're going to automatically try to reconnect to the network, and they're really connecting to me.
All right. 211 SSIDs in pool.
That's really good.
Well, if we were bad guys, there's no limit to how bad this can be.
Bonjour. Pardon. Yeah. Oh, we're doing an audit to check the USB rights on the devices, that's all.
Okay.
So yeah, we're good. It's hot out there today. Sorry. See ya. Oh, yeah. Just need to use your computer for a second. No, it's very quickly. Here. No problem. Thank you. Right there. That was it. Thank you. Merci beaucoup. I'm trying to do my best. It's like
I could have just gone in and gotten one machine. It's game over. I literally compromised everything there was to compromise except for the toaster and the coffee machine in the break room.
Had Jason's USB device contained malicious software? If he'd been affiliated with a terrorist organization? Or just been a cyber criminal? He could have siphoned millions without anyone ever knowing.
Did someone order a notepad? I sucked them. Yes, trying to make the network faster. Okay, thank you.
You have a network server here as well? The data center?
That's true.
Oh, can you show me that? Thank you.
Together, the team successfully compromised 3 branches, failing at only one.
Bonjour. From headquarters. I need to look at your machine real quick.
No. 1 second. Can you stay here?
Okay, yeah. I'm just trying to do my job.
Yes, sir.
I just have to do like 2 or 3 PCs, and then I can go.
Just give me 2 minutes.
All right, well, I've got the rest of the documentation in the car. Do you need that?
Yes.
Okay. Didn't work at all. Straight up. Yeah.
Jason and a representative of the bank returned to each branch upon completion to reveal what happened.
What is that for? What is that for? Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you? Good to see you, my friend. Oh.
It was a great teachable moment for everyone.
As you already told us on several occasions, the new threats are much more sophisticated.
It's always going to be easier to break into a place than it is to secure it. It's always going to be easier to destroy something than it is to create it. You want to talk about what all of this hacking is all about? It's about trust. And trust, as we know, is so much easier to destroy in an instant than it is to build. So that's your, offense, defense. Of course it's easy to destroy something. You just keep hammering on it, and eventually something's going to break. The difference here is once we break it, figure out how to fix it, and then we do it again and again.
We have not yet arrived. I mean, we, the big we, the 330 million of us, we have not yet answered the question. What is it we want? And more importantly, what is it we will allow our government to do to keep us safe up here in the cyber domain?
No one really truly grasps how horribly underprepared they are for the real world that's going on right now. They're oblivious to the fact that their home routers can be compromised and turned into a botnet, that their dialysis machine and their insulin pumps have default hard-coded passwords. They don't understand that mobile devices that they're using at Starbucks can be easily compromised for a device that's less than $100.
The battlefield of a terrorist is not a physical battlefield. It's a psychological battlefield. If you can terrorize an entire nation, then you can get them to do things they wouldn't normally do. That can mean passing national security legislation that they wouldn't have otherwise passed, banning all Muslims from entering the country, getting sucked into a war they wouldn't have gotten sucked into before.
The biggest issue this community is having is we're not seeing the next generation of hackers come up because they're going to jail, man. And the problem with that is that if you actually want to have your data secure and my data secure and everyone's data secure, we can't keep putting these kids in jail for things like that. We need to actually show them that the dark side might seem a little bit fun when you're 16, but at 18, it has consequences, and you can do dark side stuff legitimately and get paid for it.
The good news about all of this is that there are way more good people in the world than bad. We probably outnumber them by 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 to 1. So all we need to do is really get the good people involved to work with government and security officials. And if we do that, if we engage the good people of this world, then I think our technological future can be very bright indeed.